What's up, people? We back. We back. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We got breaking news, y'all. Breaking news. So, Diddy had a hearing today. Then we're going to check that out first. Yeah, we're going to try to make this live an hour. No longer than an hour. That's it. That's all we can do. But, Diddy was in court. We're going to see what happened at Diddy latest court hearing. Then we got Tony Busby sues Roc Nation, man. This Roc Nation, this Jay-Z Tony Busby beef heating up. You got Jay-Z suing Tony Busby now. Tony Busby got a lawsuit against Roc Nation. I think Tony Busby is going to lose this battle. I think he might have made his match. I'm sure he got some powerful people behind him, though. I'm sure he got some powerful people behind him. For real. We still on a countdown for these lawsuits getting tossed. At least some of them. I think some of these lawsuits going to get tossed for the week out. Especially the one that implicate Jay-Z. Hit that like button. We got some documents to read. Tony Busby, let me get that right first. Tony Busby sues Roc Nation. You got Roc Nation with a, well, I don't know if it's Roc Nation, but you got Jay-Z with a suit out on Tony Busby. Yeah, it's going to get wicked. Gonna get wicked. Hit that like button. Appreciate it. Busby sues Roc Nation. Alright, so before we read these documents, we're gonna see what happened with Diddy in court today. Cause Diddy had court today. I don't know what kind of hearing it was. I don't know if it was a what the fuck did that? I don't know what kind of hearing it was. Right there. P. Diddy Bames at court. Come on, YouTube. Stop playing dumbass games with my views, man. Stop the fucking notifications. Stop acting stupid. God damn, y'all be killing me with the dumb shit, man.
Welcome back to Law and Crime, everybody. So we are covering this live hearing that is happening downtown in federal court in Manhattan regarding Sean Diddy Combs. There was a hearing, short hearing between the prosecution, the defense, and the judge regarding evidence, regarding discovery in this case, and it seems it's progressing its way towards a May 5th, 2025 trial date, but I'm not going to talk about it myself. I want to bring on Elizabeth Milner, who is actually in that courthouse for us. Elizabeth, so good to see you. So two things for you. A, if you could briefly describe what the scene looked like, and more specifically, what did you observe of Sean Combs, who was in that courtroom? And B, what happened in court? What were the big takeaways?
Hit that like button, y'all.
Hey, Jesse. Great to see you as always. Today was a little bit different in that I got to the courthouse got inside the courthouse, I should say, about 15 minutes before 1 p.m. That shows you how early I was in there. And I was actually surprised to see less amount of journalists. They were kind of waiting for this hearing to get started. And so, comparing that to last hearing where it was just a ton of journalists just waiting to get inside that courtroom, this time was completely different, and that
they know the case bogus.
Probably about less than 20 journalists altogether. So when we were all kind of ushered up into the 15th floor this time, as opposed to the top floor like the last hearing, it was a lot of us. It was a lot smaller courtroom, but still the same similar makeup of the courtroom.
That like button,
you have one side where it's going to be Diddy's family members, it's going to be the general public, maybe some extra defense lawyers or those who work for the defense side, at least. I'm kind of sitting over to the left side, and then on the right side where I was sitting, it's going to be all flooded with journalists as well as some other members of the prosecution Nation team who kind of helped with that case as well too. And so we all went up to the courtroom probably around 1:45 today. We're waiting to get this hearing started. It was interesting too because this time around, you know, Diddy was brought in first. He was brought in about a couple minutes after 2 p.m. today, and we were all kind of waiting to see. We had heard mumblings that his mom might be in courtroom, that we were waiting for the children, but then nothing happened. But then, in another twist and turn, the children do walk in, but this time it was a lot smaller bunch than it was the last time. So last time you're having all of Diddy's children, except with the exception of Love, who
get the right care right away. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Great content needs a great audience, like Santa Claus needs cookies. What? No cookies for Santa? No! With TubeBuddy, you get everything you need to grow your audience. Click the link to sign up.
who is just a 2-year-old child, so she wasn't at court. But you had all of Diddy's children there except Love. But this time around, you just had Justin Combs and Christian Combs, meaning that there was no Quincy there today. Delilah and Jesse weren't there. Chance wasn't there. And the caretakers of his younger children who aren't of age just yet, they were not present inside the courtroom as well today. But his mom also wasn't in court today. So when Diddy came inside, you know, it was still that standard issued NBC jumpsuit. He's wearing khaki. You know, from that video of, I think that was obtained by Daily Mail back in September, of Diddy playing hacky sack in Central Park, to now he appeared just astonishingly thinner, which you can expect to be inside a federal detention center for a couple months now. A lot different from the luxury lifestyle that he was living before, but he appeared very noticeably thinner, and maybe being locked up in detention is starting to wear on him. He appeared grayer a little bit as well too, but again, he appeared just like how you would expect Diddy to appear for a hearing. He when he came inside the courtroom, you know, he hugged his attorneys. He especially hugged Anthony Rico. Then he had hugged Alexandra Shapiro as well too, but then he kept kind of looking at the gallery. Now again, this was at a point where Diddy's sons Justin and Christian weren't inside the courtroom just yet, but instead, whenever they came inside the courtroom, and again, this was after Diddy was already sitting down at the defense table, he looked back immediately. He smiled. He beamed up. He waved at at his two sons, and just kind of gave them like kind of a little bit of, you know, it's a good to see you type of feeling.
Man, they be tripping me out. They be expecting motherfuckers to just be in that bitch miserable. Nah, man, nigga gonna smile, man. Gonna smile. We gonna laugh, you know. Gonna have some good days and some bad days.
That's what I was gathering from inside that courtroom. Now, again, I want to remind our viewers that when we're inside federal court, again, there's no cameras, which, Jesse, I'm sure you have already mentioned that part. But, you know, even for us journalists, with the exception of some who get a special permission of that, we just are relying on a notebook, a notepad, a pen, a pencil, in order to kind of take notes to see what is all going on. I can't even take my Apple Watch inside that courtroom whenever there's a hearing. I have to turn that in. I have to turn my laptop in. Of course, I have to turn my phone in. So we're kind of just eye-watching everything that's going on. Now, when Christian and Justin came inside that courtroom, they were actually sitting just right across from me over on the left side of the gallery. So what I was seeing from both of his sons was a little bit of leg shaking, what I perceived to be a little prayer right before the hearing had actually started as well too. But again, I think their focus was maintaining a good face for their father, being supportive of their father, which you expect at this point because they've attended pretty much all of the hearings so far, with the exception of that emergency hearing that happened, I believe, back in October now. But then they kind of just stood and sat and just kind of listened to what was all kind of happening. Again, that court hearing was pretty quick. It was about 30 minutes long. I think all of us were kind of surprised that the hearing did last that short amount of time, as opposed to last hearing, which was about 2 hours or so. But, you know, as our viewers kind of want to get an inside glimpse of what you see at a federal courtroom, you're going to see the defense table, and then you're going to see the prosecution table right in front. So it's not like how we see in normal trials where it's like right across from each other. It's like the defense, the prosecution, and then of course you're going to have the judge on the bench.
I don't know what the hand was
have the
about.
court sketch artist and the person who's kind of transcribing all of what is going on. But that is pretty much the inside glimpse.
And this, we got Tony Buzbee suing Roc Nation. We're going to get into that after this.
Of what I got from inside that courthouse.
And
And just let's and appreciate that. That's a really vivid description of what it looks like, because unfortunately we don't have cameras in that courtroom, and there's no cameras expected in that courtroom as this trial progresses, even though there are a lot of people watching this and following it. So just to go back, what were briefly some of the main takeaways about what happened today? What was the discussion about, and where are we left? Where does this case go? What was being decided between the prosecution, the defense, and ultimately the judge?
Yeah, Jesse, was a lot of just discovery material, which isn't the most fun topic to really talk about, if we're being honest here a little bit.
The best to talk
so
about.
A lot of things was just turning over evidence, what time frame that evidence will be turned in. And so from what, so the government says that they're on track to produce the discovery by the end of the year, meaning December 31st. You know, they say the investigation is still ongoing. They said that they pulled all the text messages from Combs, as well as...
Investigation still ongoing. You would have thought they had a rock solid case by now.
Victim one in this case, and then they're kind of proceeding as quickly as possible when it comes to that superseding indictment. So the government was trying to make it clear that they're still in the process of doing the investigation. It still seems like the superseding indictment is still lingering on in the case, but it was also interesting too, because we have covered a number of stories about kind of the response from the defense side and kind of talking with the prosecution here. But I noticed whenever I was inside that courtroom that there was a lot of chumminess going on. There was a lot of laughs, a little bit of giggles coming from Mark Agnifilo talking with the prosecutors right before the hearing had started. So they seemed, you wouldn't think that they're in this kind of, fiery battle or anything about the case. They seem pretty chummy. They seem very cordial, and they both sides seem to have respected each other in terms of turning over that evidence, making sure that every deadline is hit, and that type of sort. Now, there was a pending motion that the judge did bring up that, at the time, Judge Submaranian did mention that he wanted to keep, he was
I ain't sure about none of it,
thinking about denying that motion, but instead what he did was the defense time, a lot of music kind of going on here in the background, but what the defense says is that their preference was to keep that motion open, so that way, the judge wouldn't dismiss it with a little bit of prejudice, which means that they could have refiled the motion, but that didn't happen. The defense kind of appeared that they just wanted the motion to stay open, see what would happen with all of that. But it seems like we will not be seeing any bit of Diddy until March, when the next hearing is going. But it seems like they're all kind of going along with the timeline. It seems that they appear to be ready to get started on May 5th, pending whatever goes on with the potential superseding indictment, which again, I just want to stress to our viewers that has not been issued at this time. But it seems as though they're on track for a May 5th trial date. But again, also, with this time frame given, that's 5 months, meaning 5 more months that Diddy is still behind bars until we kind of see how this entire trial plays out. But for the most part, that's what I gathered from this really quick hearing.
Listen, Elizabeth, that is incredibly helpful, and also it's great that somebody drove by with a great taste in music as well. That's a side note, but I will say, now we kind of know where this is going. I am still surprised this is headed towards a May trial date. We shall see what happens. Elizabeth Milner, thank you so much for going down to the courthouse, reporting back to us.
Case is weak. You got one man RICO with one victim and a few witnesses. That's why they're still investigating. But that's just something we had to cover. So let me pick everybody up to speed. What's going on with Tony Buzbee and Jay-Z? So a couple months ago, Tony Buzbee filed a lawsuit against Diddy, and it had 2 other people that wasn't named. A couple months after that, they amended the lawsuit and added Jay-Z name in the lawsuit. But before that happened, we find out that Tony Busby was being sued by a celebrity, but at the time we didn't know who it was. So after the lawsuit got amended, which included Jay-Z's name, Jay-Z legal team comes out and, they had some things to say about Tony Busby and how he was conducting his business, saying that he was trying to extort him. And we found out that Jay-Z was actually the one that sued Tony Busby. So yesterday, or a couple days ago, one of Tony Busby's clients, the 13-year-old that's alleging that Jay-Z raped her and sexually assaulted her, gave an interview. And most people looked at that interview and said, man, this is a bunch of baloney. Like, where did they find this person at? Yesterday, we did a live when Jay-Z lawyer did a press conference basically going through the allegations alleged in the lawsuit, just picking it apart piece by piece by piece. So many inconsistencies. But now today, Tony Buzbee strikes back, and he not just suing Jay-Z, he is suing Roc Nation. What's up, Steve? No, he ain't getting out on bail. He done with the bails. I think they only keeping him in there because that's all the time they're gonna get. All right, so it's a plaintiff files this original petition against defendants Marcy Brian Croft, investigator Jessica Santiago, Roc Nation, and Quinn Emanuel, whoever, seeking damages, and respectfully shows this honorable court the following. Defendants have conspired to obstruct justice by engaging in shadowy operative to illegally seek out more than 24 current and former clients of Busby Law Firm to convince those clients to bring frivolous cases against the Busby Law Firm. Defendant Roc Nation is financing the effort. Its attorneys, Marcy Croft, Quinn Emanuel, are orchestrating the effort. In some cases, defendants' agents pretend to work for the state of Texas and have flashed fake badges. Soliciting clients is a crime in the state of Texas. Paying individuals to file false claims is unethical and criminal in the state of Texas. Impersonating a state official is a crime. In at least one case, defendants' agents offered as much as $10,000 to a former client of Busby Law Firm. All right, so transcripts between Justice Santiago and Gerardo Garcia. Exactly. We have 70 people that are in this class action, and there will be more. You're all on the list, but you have other people too. Today I'm visiting with you and with 3 more people who will sign up to be in the lawsuit. So basically, they yo, this is ironic. This is ironic, y'all. So Busby is upset because he's saying Roc Nation and Jay-Z and them is basically doing the same thing he doing to them. I mean, drumming up fake clients and trying to pursue legal actions against Busby for some of his unethical practices. And if there are more people in the class action, that is better for you because that means you will collect something. Exhibit 1, transcripts between Jessica Santiago and Gerardo Garcia. We are from the state. All right. Let me go back to the last sentence. In at least one case, defendants' agents offered as much as $10,000 to a former client of Busby Law Firm to sue the firm. Unfortunately for the defendants, their agents are not very smart or careful. Their agents were caught on audio tape, red-handed, not knowing they were being recorded. Yo, this is dirty. Yo, I told you, your business get dirty, y'all. Your business get real dirty. They both resort to dirty tactics, if you let Busby tell it, but I don't believe shit Busby say anyway. Not knowing they were being recorded, defendant's agents admitted that defendant Marcy Croft, a licensed Texas lawyer and member of Team Roc, was orchestrating the effort. And in other recordings, those agents described the criminal conspiracy in great detail, going so far to admit that the lawsuit would be in the press, and that some former clients had already accepted money to join the effort. Roc Nation and Jay-Z are synonymous. Jay-Z is founder and chairman of Roc Nation. At the same time, the illegal conduct described herein continues. The Busby Law Firm is pursuing claims on behalf of at least one client against Jay-Z in New York federal court. And as a result of that client's claims, Jay-Z sued the Busby Law Firm in Los Angeles State Court. Defendant Quinn Emanuel, who represents Jay-Z in both cases and who also frequently represents Roc Nation, denied in open court and in the press involvement in the scheme described herein. That denial was a bold-faced lie. The illegal efforts described here, which Roc Nation is funding, and defendant Croft and defendant Quinn Emanuel are orchestrating, is intended to interfere with the Busby Law Firm ability to represent its clients and offer pertinent evidence to authorities. All right, so we're going to have to read this exhibit and then go back and read that last sentence. Exhibit 2, affidavit of Skylar Tyler. Exhibit 3, affidavit of Shannon Champagne. The defendants were aggressive. These men offered me money to sign on as a client with them. Specifically, they offered me $10,000 in exchange for signing with them as a client. The affidavit of Shannon Champagne. Defendant's scheme has been successful in 2 instances this far. 2 cases has been filed to date, both utterly frivolous and patently false. Both will undoubtedly needlessly subject the former Busby law firm clients to fees and expenses, and will result in bar actions against the law firms who accepted referrals of the case from defendant Marcy Croft. Croft, of course, will be the subject to bar complaints. Her conduct is described as indespicable. Hold up. Her conduct is despicable and criminal, despite being mandated by her clients and self-described benefactor Roc Nation. Defendant Roc Nation routinely employs the law firms of Quinn Emanuel. Quinn Emanuel is also the law firm representing Jay-Z in the case he filed against the Buzbee law firm in Los Angeles, as well as the case where Jay-Z was sued by a client of Buzbee law firm in New York. Defendant Marcy Croft has long association with Quinn Emanuel and Roc Nation. Yo, this is crazy, y'all. Hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. I'm back. Subscribe to the channel if you new. Share the live. Hit that like button. You only got 9 likes. Ain't nobody else even covered this today. Defendant's scheme is summarized in the following recorded transcripts. What we're trying to do is we're trying to put this thing together for the company that we're working for. We could get you paid. You can get money right now, soon. Hold up. You can get money right soon, you know. We gave this kid $1,000 to start yesterday, just to get him on the right path. At the end of the day, this is going to go through the courts. Buzbee is getting sued. Yo, hold up, yo. This is crazy, yo. Yo, what if Buzbee designed this whole, this is crazy, y'all. I told y'all, people like to talk about the streets. Yo, but ain't nothing more dirtier than business. As part of their scheme, defendants attempted to use the plaintiff herein as a pawn. On behalf of defendant Marcy Croft, 2 individuals approached the plaintiff. They were pushy. They told him he had to talk to them because they were with the state. They told him that they were putting together a lawsuit on behalf of defendant Marcy Croft and the company she was working for. And she would assign his case to someone who could get him a lot of money. Thankfully, rather than go along with their illegal efforts, the plaintiff recorded them instead. Come on now. He now files suit for battery, both for crime and a civil action in the state of Texas. This is just one of multiple cases to be filed by a plaintiff who have been illegally solicited by investigators working as a part of a cabal headquartered in New York City. Defendants have a long history of this type of abuse. Defendants have a long history of the type of abusive and egregious conduct described herein. Because they have gotten away with it for so long, defendants think they can come down to Texas and do whatever they choose with impunity. What the fuck? Impunity. They were wrong. Their behavior will have consequences, both civilly and criminally. Oh, shit. Somebody going to jail. Plaintiff is a resident of Texas in Harris County. Defendant Marcy Brian Croft is a Texas licensed attorney and a self-admitted member of Team Roc. She can be served through the Texas Secretary of State at her office at 1501 Jackstonia Plaza, 12159, Jackson, Mississippi, 39211. Marcy's connection with defendants Roc Nation and Emmanuel Quinn is plainly demonstrated below. So this is a Twitter page. What the fuck? That was loose. Oh, she definitely fucking with Roc Nation. Yeah, it's on Twitter. Retained by Ag Sparrow, that's Jay-Z lawyer, Jay-Z and Roc Nation, in a lawsuit filed on behalf of mistreated inmates over inhumane conditions. Oh yeah, so you remember when Jay-Z and Yo Gotti got together to sue Mississippi? Hold on, y'all, I gotta get my charger. So y'all remember when I think it was I did a video on it. Matter of fact, it's on my page. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago when Jay-Z and Yo Gotti got together to sue the Alabama prison system for how they was treating their inmates. So this was the lawyer that was retained for that case. Online appearance to work. All right, so that was 2020. But that's not when they settled. They ain't fixed. That must be when it started. Amazing work. We're very proud to be a small part of this great team. Thank you, Roc Nation and Team Roc, for all that you do. Yeah. Well, she definitely connected. The officials and only from our firm in Mississippi authorized by Team Roc to handle matters of Mississippi prison reform. Okay. Defendant MJ Legal, PA, is a business corporation and law firm performing legal services in Texas. This defendant can be served through the Texas Secretary of State at our office via personal service to Marsh Bryan Croft at 1501 Jacksonian Plaza, Jackson, Mississippi. Defendant Roc Nation LLC is a limited liability company organized in Delaware and headquartered in New York. This defendant can be served through the Texas Secretary of State via registered agent at CEO Corporation Corporate Creations Network. All right. So this just saying where they serving all their subpoenas at. Plaintiff intends to conduct discovery under Level 3 of the Texas Rule of Civil Procedure and affirmatively pleads that this suit is not governed by the expedited actions process in Texas Rule of Civil Procedure because plaintiff requests injunctive relief and plaintiff seeks monetary relief over $100,000. This filing is supported by the following evidence, which is attached and incorporated herein. Transcripts of defendants. All right. Facts. On behalf of two clients, Tony Buzbee and the Busby Law Firm, sent demand letters to Sean Carter, Jay-Z's attorneys in New York. The letter made no monetary demand. They only sought a confidential sit-down to discuss the client's allegations. Come on, yo. Why he keep trying to act like he a victim? Like, he keep trying to act like he a victim. Who wants to just sit down and talk about the allegation? You wanted some money. In response to the two letters, defendant Quinn Emanuel filed a suit against the Busby firm. That suit alleged that the firm was trying to extort Sean Jay-Z Carter. The lawsuit was and is frivolous and will be dismissed. Several weeks later, the Busby Law Firm, on behalf of one of the clients who sent a demand letter, filed a lawsuit against Mr. Carter. At or around that time, defendant conspiracy began. As part of that conspiracy, current and former clients of the Busby Law Firm began receiving solicitations from investigators asking current and former clients to sue the firm. The investigators used burner phones. Many times the investigators used fake names or flash badges or credentials, but would not let the clients see them. During some of the contacts, the investigators were pushy. In at least two, they were pretended to be acting on behalf of the state of Texas. Several of these calls were caught on either camera or tape. In each instance, the investigators were careful not to disclose whose behalf they were working, for good reason. The defendant in this case did not want to disclose their participation in the flagrant violation of Texas law. Indeed, these defendants openly and brazenly violated Texas criminal laws dozens of times. One such target of defendant solicitation was plaintiff Garcia. Mr. Garcia is a resident of Harris County. He was injured in a Jones Act lawsuit and hired the Busby Law Firm to represent him. His case was settled in 2020. He was happy with the resolution of this case, and he had no complaints with Busby Law Firm. Nearly 5 years later, after his case had resolved, not seeking to hire a lawyer or file a lawsuit, Mr. Garcia was contacted out of the blue by two investigators. This contact was an illegal solicitation and was made on behalf of in as part of a conspiracy involving defendant Croft, Roc Nation, Quinn Emanuel. One of these investigators identified herself as Jessica Santiago. These two investigators approached Mr. Garcia at his home and flashed the badge. They told plaintiff Garcia several times that they were from the state. They asked Mr. Garcia if he was unhappy with his settlement from 2020 and whether they could see his settlement documents. They were pushy. They followed this up by explaining to him they were with the state but could connect him with a private lawyer so he could sue the Buzbee law firm. They told Garcia several times that there was money in this for you. The investigators' request became increasingly aggressive and hostile. At some point, defendant's agents demanded Mr. Garcia to produce his medical records and offer him money to hire private lawyers to sue the Buzbee law firm. Mr. Garcia decided to call the Buzbee law firm and report the conduct. Despite her best efforts in disguising the identities of those she was working for, investigator Jessica Santiago was caught on tape disclosing to Mr. Garcia that she was working for an attorney named Marcy Croft at the law firm MJ Legal, PA. Defendant Marcy Croft is an attorney in Jackson, Mississippi. Defendant MJ Legal is the law firm Ms. Croft purportedly owns. Ms. Croft advertises herself as a member of Team Roc. Moreover, Ms. Croft advertises that she has become actively involved with criminal justice reform and prison reform alongside Roc Nation philanthropic arm, Team Roc. She further advertises herself as being involved in numerous litigation actions pending on behalf of Team Roc, families, and hundreds of incarcerated men. Marcy Croft has worked with Roc Nation for years, alongside Quinn Emanuel, Alex Shapiro. Shapiro and Quinn Emanuel are currently opposing the Buzbee law firm in at least 2 cases.
Busby's unofficial copy office of Maryland Burgess District Clerk. Unofficial copy office of Maryland Burgess District Clerk. Unofficial copy office of Maryland Burgess District Clerk.
Hold up, now.
Unofficial copy office of Maryland Burgess District Clerk. Unofficial copy office of Maryland Burgess District Clerk.
The fuck just happened? I don't feel like reading no more, y'all. Hold on. Alright, so we right here. I might as well finish. Plaintiff incorporates the preceding paragraphs of this petition as it's set forth fully herein. Defendant Roc Nation LLC is conspiracy with Quinn Emanuel orchestrated and instructed defendant Croft and MJ Legal to send agents, private investigators, in Texas to the homes of the firm's ex-clients who were also in Texas. One of those ex-clients was plaintiff Gerardo Garcia. Once there, these agents, investigators, solicited employment for defendant Croft and defendant MJ Legal. Each of these defendants offered money to plaintiff to hire defendant Croft and sue the firm. To add insult to injury, these investigators sent by defendants acted as if they were government officials or police officers, even going so far as to brandish a badge and tell Mr. Garcia they were from the state. Defendant Roc Nation, all right, so we already got that.
Busby sues Roc Nation PDF. Unofficial copy office of Maryland Burgess District
right
Clerk.
there, man.
Unofficial copy office of Maryland Burgess. Unofficial copy office.
Plaintiff incorporates the preceding paragraphs in this petition that's set for. We already read that. I know we did. Meeting, all right. Plaintiff incorporate the preceding paragraphs of this petition. Defendants make up more than two persons who sought to accomplish a goal of committing battery and soliciting clients to sue the firm. All defendants had a meeting of the minds on this organized criminal conduct and then took many unlawful acts to accomplish this criminal conduct. As a result, plaintiffs suffered damages in the amount to be proven at trial because defendant's conduct was committed with actual malice. Plaintiff seeks exemplary damages against defendants. Plaintiff incorporates the preceding paragraphs of this position as set forth fully herein. Defendant's conduct was committed with malice. All right. Plaintiff incorporates the preceding paragraphs of this petition as set forth fully herein as a direct and proximate result of the occurrence made the basis of this lawsuit. Plaintiff suffered injury. Plaintiff seek the following damages pursuant to Texas law. Compensatory damages in the amount to be proven at trial. Consequential and special damages in the amount to be proven at trial. Exemplary damages. Interest on damages, pre and post judgment in accordance with the law. What you mean? Notice the official document. Cost of courts, attorney fees, such and other further relief. Y'all, all we get is all we get is real documents, man. Plaintiff respectfully demand a jury trial on those issues where appropriate. Yo, this is crazy, y'all. What y'all think about that, man? What y'all think about that? Now, Jay-Z is basically saying that they doing the same fucking thing. You feel me? Like, Jay-Z saying they doing the same thing. So what? If we gonna play dirty, we gonna play dirty. But it sounds like they got caught if they got him on video. If they got him on video, this gonna be a legal battle for years, y'all. Straight up. This is gonna be a legal battle for years. Jay-Z versus Tony Buzbee. Somebody gonna have to kick out a whole busload of money. Somebody got to kick out a whole busload of money. My thing though is, once they find out that the first lawsuit was frivolous, where would that leave this one? You know, if the first lawsuit get thrown out with the 13-year-old girl and he find out that they did all type of illegal shit with that, then what will happen with basically this countersuit? I'm gonna have to look into that for 11 o'clock live, y'all. We gotta dig a little bit deeper in that, see what that shit mean. See what that mean. Oh my God. Just these wild as a motherfucker, man. He always saying something. But I ain't gonna make this live real long, yo. We go live at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Share this live if you can. I ain't seen nobody cover this topic. I thought it was interesting. I mean, I think it is interesting that Tony Buzbee is now suing Jay-Z for basically the same shit that he did to Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna get mad? This how y'all operate. I'm sure you did the same goddamn thing to get all these fucking fake ass clients. How the fuck she allowed herself to get recorded? And why would she say what law firm she worked for? Like, I don't know, man. That's crazy. But he said he got it on video or audio, so must got some fucking proof. But let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments. Share this live. 11 o'clock p.m. We go live again Eastern time. Make sure y'all tap in. And I'm out.